Hello friends, look at all this beautiful glitzy glammy stuff. Today we're going to be making some Christmas ornaments for this Christmas in July hop hosted by Mermaid Cove Studio and Beck's Crafting World 2. I had this die that cut this all out. This was all in one die, for example. I had this. It cut out these snowflakes and then like these little center pieces here and then that snowflake. And for example, it even cut out pieces like this and beautiful pieces like this. And so I thought I would just try to put it all together, add my little spin because I love things that shine. And for example, I even added like a little bead at the bottom here. So we'll hope I'm not blocking the light. But anyways, I've kind of laid these all out so I can kind of speed up the process so that you can see what I'm doing here. Basically, I have, for example, let me scoot this over just a little bit. I have a jump ring and then the snowflake, a jump ring, and then the design of like a gem, a jump ring, snowflake, a jump ring, and a little bead. So I'm using jump rings in between all of this, and then I'm just adding these really pretty little like gem things that I did order these things off of Temu, as well as these. These just came in a pack. They were all assorted as well. You know, these were assorted also. So for example, I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac, and I hope this works on this metal because I'm not real sure. Let me get a paper towel real quick, make sure my glue is going to come out. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on this. Stretchy glue, of course. And then put that there. And then pick up this plastic. I don't know where that came from. And then I'll put some, actually I'll just put it on here. It'll come out. Okay, there we go. And then add my little bling. And that won't be that one. See if I got that. Oops, I moved that too far. Moved it too far. Okay. Set that aside and let that dry. And then I will put my lid on my glue. And then I'll show you how I put this all together. So I will do this one right here. So first, I took a larger jump ring, and I have 2 pairs of pliers. And I'm sure everybody has known how to do this, but you know, I'm just gonna try to show you what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna twist this so it's open. And that will be the top. Sorry if I keep getting that out of frame because I am trying to look at it and bring it up to my face. And then I just put that on. Hope I'm in screen. And twist that back. There's that one. And then I just keep repeating this process. The next piece will be this jump ring. Now, I think for this particular die, I think they just wanted you to like glue it together, but I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of movement, and that's why I decided to add jump rings and make it a little bit more fun. So adding that jump ring, and then I want to show you on the back of the snowflake here is a pattern paper of that same paper that I have been working with. So while this is open, I just add that onto there and then close that. I hope I'm in screen. I hope I'm in view. And then we have this so far. And then I'm going to add this jump ring to this. Turn it around here so I can see it. Bend it. Add it onto there. And I didn't have to turn that around, but I wanted to. And turn that around there. And then put this back together. Not all the way. There we go. And then that's what we have right here. Put this down so you can see it better. Okay. And then this time I have this jewel. I thought that was really pretty. And I'm going to add it onto this right here with my Fabri-Tac. And tell you the truth, I don't know if hot glue would hold these on here. That's why I'm using this Fabri-Tac. So put a little bit there. Let it go. Twist it out of there. Kind of like hot glue, huh? Sometimes it gets stringy like that. And then put that on there. Yep, see how that string is? Sometimes it gets like that. I have no idea why. Probably just getting old or something. Getting old just like me. And then there is that one. How pretty, huh? Let me straighten this up. There we go. There. And then at the end, I think what I'm going to do is I'll add a ribbon so this could be hung on a tree, you know? I just thought that was really pretty to add this little bit of bling on there. But that is my decorations. And then also, you know, you could do this with any die really. I mean, if you wanted to, if you had a snowflake die, you could just take a hole punch and punch into the snowflake and then add a jump ring like that, you know? And then instead of like these portions, these pieces right here rather, you can just use circles, you know, a circle punch out and use a hole punch to punch out the holes and add it. You don't need to have these things per se, you know, those portions. You can just take a paper punch and punch that out right there. So I'll finish doing all of this and then I'll show you all of it at the end, okay? So hang tight. All right, and there you have it. I added the ribbons at the top. And then you can just hang these on your tree, just like in the Victorian times. This is my modern Victorian Christmas decoration. And for example, I used some wire tinsel on this one. And then just some pink ribbon on this one. Blue and some gold. And my favorite is probably this one. I'm back again. I almost forgot to do my 3D portion that's supposed to do for this Christmas in July hop. So let me show you what I did. I almost forgot to do it. So I did cut these out, but I know you can't really see it right here, but I put some tulle in between and then I just cut all the way around like in a circle. And I did that for all of these. The reason why I almost forgot to do this is because I had everything set out to do the other part. And I'm like, I'm missing something. And it's this part. So let me get this set up and I'll show you what I'm doing, okay? So hold on just a minute. Okay, this is going to be a long setup for this. So first what I did was I did a jump ring and put a clasp on it. That's going to go to the top. And then I'm going to have these snowflakes, these 3 snowflakes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, and then it's going to go on to there. You'll see what I'm talking about when I get that done. Then I did a little star. That's going to go right after that. And then this is going to be folded and it's going to be glued on. And then a jump ring. And then I have one more. And then at the very end, I did this little bead. So a little crystal bead, pink bead, and like a little light pink bead. And that's going to go to the end. So I can't do it right here because it's too small. So I'm going to fold these and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So hold on just a minute. Okay, now that I got those bent, I'm going to take my hot glue gun and then I'm going to add it on one side. I got to bring this closer to me. And put those 2 together. And this time I'm using the hot glue gun because I know it's gonna stay on there. So line up because I need these holes to line up. This one still doesn't look like it's lined up. That's okay. Okay, and then we're gonna do the other side. Sorry, I have to take it away from the camera for a moment because sometimes, you know, I just can't see what I'm doing. I hate doing that, but you know, when you want something to turn out the way that you're thinking, you know, you really want to make sure that it's all lined up correctly. You see that one went on a lot better. There we go. I'm just going to let that dry. See where I'm going at with that? Except my arm is in the light. Okay. And then the next one would be these 2, and I'm just going to glue them back to back like that. Line those up. And I know you're probably wondering, what is the deal with all this tulle on here? So I'll show you that in just a moment. Let me get this all lined up. And the reason why I have to do the tulle part last is because I don't want it to get messed up. So and then the last one just stays like that. So I have that so far. And now I'm going to add my jump rings on, just like I did before. 3-dimensional snowflake. Then bring in my scrap paper. And I'm going to lay this out. And this is how come I could not put this on. Like, I had to put it all together before I did this part. So the tulle that I have on here, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here and there. Just like dots basically on this tool. Now, if I had a tool that had this already on it, you know, obviously I wouldn't have to do this, but I have some glitter here that I almost spilled all over the place right there. I'm just going to sprinkle this on, and then after I get this all dried and everything, I'll have to show you at the end. That way it'll be all nice and cleaned up and glitter not go everywhere. And like I said, there is tool that does have glitter on it, but I did not have any, and I just don't want to go out and keep buying stuff, so I thought I'm going to use what I have, so I'll just do this. That one right there didn't get a lot. Okay. Hope you see what I mean. It'll have the little sparkles around it. And I'm going to do it for the next one. Some glue. I can hear my daughter's cat getting into something right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it. So we've been doing this thing where I've been cleaning out everything and just trying to like get rid of stuff, because I feel like, you know, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I have too much stuff. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go through and have a yard sale. So I have all this yard sale stuff sitting in my living room right now, and the cats are like, oh, new toys, let's climb all over everything. So I know that's what my daughter's cat is doing right now. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay. Oh, I'll get this side right here. Kind of hard to see the tool, actually. And make sure I put the glitter on both sides. I don't think I got it on this side, did I? There we go. And you see why now I had to get it all clipped together, because if I was working with this with the glitter, I think all the glitter would have come off. It wouldn't have had the effect that I wanted. So my last video, I had to upload it one day early because we were in the mountains, literally. So we have a cabin that's out of state, and when you're up in the mountains, you don't have a signal. So I was like, we have to go, quote, in town, which is quite a ways, you know, to get somewhere, and upload all of that. So that was the only time that I could go in and get something uploaded. So I had to do that one day early. And I tell you what, we worked so hard. All right, there's what that's gonna look like. I'm gonna let it dry. And then I think I'm just gonna add a couple jewels on the inside. And then I'll show you that at the very end after this is all dried, okay? So I hope that you're following along with all of these videos and watching everybody else too, because you know, there's a lot of work that goes into all of this stuff, and you know, it's fun to do, and I just appreciate everyone stopping by and checking it out, and I'll list all the people that are in the hop in the description box, okay? All right, I'll see you guys later, and I'll put that picture in when this is dry, okay? Thanks.